So what were your challenges as a leader?
No, that place was crazy. You know, it was like working for somebody that doesn't know what they want. Or they have an idea of what they want, but they don't really know how they're going to get there. If you're going to look into entertainment space or radio or whatever, media, whatever, you're going to be used. Please take that from me now. Me, I'm a part. Like, if you know me, I'm a part. People that know me, I want to come here and sit and be comfortable. Like, so we sit here and we focus on the conversation.
I am Nanzi.
A lot.
Ngilungiphe futhi. This is City Coco Sibo Pilson, your favorite DJ, the Queen, darling, and I'm taking over the Friday edition, as always, of your Dine and Dialogue. We are switching things up because I want to listen to we are telling you. Speak, name and shame. Tell us more about it. Can I talk about your children? It's a special edition of the Dine and Dialogue with Sibo Pilson interviewing Lerato Molefe. We're coming to you from Sabores in the city of Bombela. It's a fave of Lerato's. Wow, she can't get enough of the food. So here we are. It's my first time here. So I'm super excited to try out their food. So first things first, I'm going to welcome you.
I'm not being treated like a guest. I need a welcome.
It's not a formal interview.
But I need a welcome. I'm a guest. This is a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Welcoming our guest, Lerato Molefe. Welcome to Dine and Dialogue. How are you doing?
Thank you so much for having me. Firstly, I'd like to say that I'm honored for the invite. Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm joking, man. I'm good. How are you?
I'd like to thank my mother.
Mama made it. No, honestly, guys, because who was going to invite me? Nobody. So what do? Invite myself to my own podcast. Thank you very much. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. No, you are the perfect person to come through and chill with me. I think with you, we're going to be able to get through the day and reach the goal for today. I'm hoping that you do not.
We're definitely going to reach the goal. We already had shooters, so we're off to a good start.
They were bad. Okay. Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay, so we're going to rate the shooters as well at the end. Okay.
Whatever you say, ma'am.
We are ordering. What are you going to have?
I don't know. Hey, I've been looking. I don't know what I feel like.
What have you had here?
Ooh. I've had quite a few things. But yeah, only 2 meals were not to my liking. But otherwise,
what did you have and enjoy? Because maybe
fried rice. I know that fried rice is everything. And fish as well. The fish is good. To die for. They live up to the standard of Mo's flavor, for real.
Yeah, I think.
Do you eat fish?
Occasionally.
Okay. Do you want to share?
Yeah, I'd love that.
Okay, maybe that's not safe also because we have to be realistic about our ratings. Yeah.
No, but then I can rate the fish according to my preference, and then you rate it according to yours.
We'll look at the platters then.
Pure.
Let's go for the seafood rice. Are you good with that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm having it for the first time, so I think we're going to be safe.
Seafood rice?
Yeah. Yeah? No?
Okay. So, Dine and Dialogue. How has the journey been for you? Meeting all the people you've met, and how do you choose the people you choose
my guests?
Yeah.
Yo, we're diving straight into it. It's been so good. Okay, it's been great. It's been a learning curve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think from the beginning when I started, I didn't expect that we'd come as far as we've come.
Mm-hmm.
You know, now I'm at a point where I'd be somewhere and people would be recognizing me from Dine and Dialogue.
Yeah.
And I'd be in spaces where there's, maybe politicians or
Abo
whatever.
lokusho.
Do you understand? And they'd be looking
And
at
they
me
know
like,
you.
you're the girl from podcast yako. Sometimes you'd have people come to you, approach you to be like, yo, Pela, you know, what do you mean? How have you not contacted me yet? So I guess in that sense, it has been a learning curve. It has been a journey. It has been good, man. It has. Scary, you know, yeah.
And I think it's one of the most consistent podcasts that have come out of Mbombela. We've seen a lot of people, I won't name and shame, but Bakalatindo, Basning about 3 episodes, Banyamalale, Babu, but they are back bigger than ever. Singababoni, Baba Peki. But this one has really stuck it out.
I feel like that statement where I have to be honest and just give a shout out, because I know I have a lot of people that always question me how I am able to, because it's really hard. Realistically, it's very hard to say that I will start a podcast, I will fund my podcast, I will, do you understand? It's very hard because there's a lot that goes into it. So a big shout out goes out to the main man, the reason we are able to give out a Dine and Dialogue every Friday, and that person is my boss. You know, I don't think if I had done this without him, I would have. I probably would have done 2 episodes and been like, you know. So him being the person that he is, besides everything else, he'll tell you about consistency. And that's the number one thing for him. Like, just let's be consistent. I don't care about a lot of things, just make sure that we are consistent. So a big shout out to my boss for that one.
How come Moshogutung
Boss Wang. He doesn't pay me to mention his name.
That's why this is Channel N.
No, I'm joking, man. If you're watching, you probably know who I'm talking about. This is Channel N, of course. So my boss is Mr. Ngobe.
Big ups to him. I think we all need that, you know, that push, that
Definitely.
mechanism that, you know, supports us to keep on moving forward.
Yeah.
And if it's a boss, even better, because, wow, there are horrible bosses out there.
Very horrible. And it's very rare to find someone that will say, listen, do what you need to do.
Make it work, whatever you need.
Yeah, it's very rare. So
That's
big shout
top
out
tier.
to him. Yeah.
That's top tier. So how do you go about choosing your guests?
You know what?
Njengoba babacela left right center bathi bona celebrate.
Why did you say that?
Yeah,
I think initially, for me, because I'm not the only one that's behind, you know, a Dine and Dialogue. So for me, I just wanted to be able to sit down and share a meal with somebody who is of influence in Mbombela, with somebody who is doing something great. You don't have to be a celebrity. You don't have to be known by everybody. You know, every now and again, we all can be introduced to somebody that we didn't know about that's doing great things. I feel like there's many people who do that. So for me, it was like, okay, sitting down, having a meal with somebody that's on its own, that alone, sharing a meal together on like a setting like this one. That alone is big, but then also adding a conversation. I wanted someone who has a story to tell, you know, someone who deserves to be recognized, basically. Someone who maybe has been up and down, but we don't really know who you are. Like, or sometimes you are a Sibo and we see you everywhere and we know Sibo or whatever, but behind Sibo there's somebody, there's Smomile, you know, and Smomile has a lot that, you know, she goes through. Yes, girl, yes. And Smomile has a lot that she goes through, you know, in order to be able to give us the Sibo that we know. You know, so it was just being able to sit down and uncover or remove the whole celebrity thing and get to know.
And I think you guys have done that very well, because there are individuals that we, like Inomesh, I just see his content.
Yeah, and you don't really know.
I didn't really know who he was until I watched that interview. It was very interesting. And even from the get-go, you brought in Stunkero. He left no stone unturned. No, you came in guns blazing. Then it was him coming. Like, you were like, I'm coming for you, Mbombela.
No, can I be honest? Especially with Stunkero, because I feel like already, before the episode goes out, I'll show it to people who are in this week we have whosoever. And then the reactions that you're going to get from that is going to tell you what people are looking for. So I feel like with Stunkero already, people had a lot that they wanted to, you know, address with him. And now he had a lot to say.
I had a lot to say. Yeah, that's to author. She knows already having
that. I think we decided on the seafood rice.
Seafood rice.
Yes,
Yeah.
for the both of us.
To share.
You don't want seafood rice anymore?
Because I've never had it before.
I've also never had it. I think we talked about it.
I thought we were going to have 2 different meals. And then
Okay, what is the different meal?
the fish that you initially mentioned. Let's have
Okay.
Your
that.
favorite.
Yes,
And your
yes.
2 sides?
Chips.
Chips.
Are you gonna share?
Yeah.
Okay. Chips and
Salad.
And salad.
Green leaves. Yeah.
Thank you.
What has been your biggest challenge with the podcast? Because I think you are enlightening us when you say, kudos to those who tried, because it really is hard to be consistent. This, that, and the other. But there are challenges that come with podcasting.
yeah. There's been so many challenges. I think there's challenges every day. And also, I'm going to be realistic. Like I mentioned earlier on, I wouldn't be able to do even half of what I have done if not for the fact that I have my boss, so I think I have to be realistic about that one. Now, the podcast in itself, when you have the idea, I would say, okay, this is what I want to do, and you take it to people, you don't really anticipate the reception. Do you understand? I found, because me, top of my head, I was like, oh, I want to have a podcast and I just want to sit there and talk to people and have great conversations and whatnot. But then now when it comes to reception, now comes people's expectations.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Now, people have what they expect from you, what they want to see, what they want you. And it's great because I'm sitting here with you because you're also somebody, you're somebody that has expressed your expectation as well.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that I'm sitting with you here as someone that watches literally every episode of Dine and Dialogue. Do you understand?
I deserve a #1 fan.
Listen, you do actually. As soon as we have a merch here, Dine and Dialogue, you're going to be the first one to receive it.
Merch
because
is coming.
You're the first. Listen. So, from people like you and you coming back to me, having watched everything, and you come back to me and you're like, I don't understand why you never have makeup on. You know, like, I feel like you're not taking the brand as serious as, and for me, it's like, okay, but I'm not.
Because the brand is big. It's extremely influential.
Well, okay, I'll take that. But but I was saying I'm not a makeup person. Do you understand? And I try. Oh, I try. Look at me. I've been wearing this since morning. And you, how did you say? Was that a jab?
No, I guess Alicia Keys is on that natural look vibe. So
Okay, I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that. But I was saying, as somebody that I'm always the way that I am. Do you understand? I don't like weaves. I don't particularly like putting on makeup.
Yeah.
I don't like being dolled up. But look at my fingers. I've even, I've adapted now.
and consistent, like always. Always.
Girl. And all of this is because the public has expectations. Do you understand? They are going to overlook what you're doing. Okay, the conversation was nice. Okay, it was interesting. Yeah, but okay, she still didn't have no makeup on. I don't know how many people have come up to me to say, can I do your makeup? You know?
Mahala.
Yeah, can I please do your makeup?
And you were
for
like,
your shows? Girl. Firstly, okay, let me be honest about this. Firstly, I've been having problems with my skin. It's new. I haven't always had problems with my skin. So now I'm having to deal with the fact that I'm not sure what is happening with my face. Now I have to put on makeup. I don't know how I'm going to react to that. Sometimes I put on makeup. By the time I get home, I feel like my face is itchy or whatever. But I can't come here and start explaining, hey guys, today my face was itchy. Do you understand? People want what they want.
And you would have to be consistent. Like if you decide about this is where your brand is at,
And I don't
you consistently
want
have to
that.
maintain that look.
I don't want that, child. I want to come here and be a para. Like me, I'm a para. Like if you know me, I'm a para. People that know me, you know what I mean. I want to come here and sit and be comfortable. Like, we sit here and we focus on the conversation. Because also the conversation is not about me. But then I cannot be oblivious to the fact that there's an expectation. If I am going to come into the game and compete with other people who are in the game, I have to meet the standard, like it or not. I don't make the rules, you see? So I think that has been my biggest challenge, and that has been a struggle for me. Because I will try and get there. You see, I'm wearing a weave. I have nails on, so yeah. Now we're just Obegazela and Chanam. And yeah, that's that. Oh, also, direction. I think that's also another thing. Because as the podcast grows, as you get different guests, you kind of sit back and be like, what can I change? What can I add? What direction am I taking? You know, I've had an episode with old Lady Mo. That was one of my craziest episodes. That was
very entertaining.
It was overwhelming. Do you understand? It's things like that. At the end of the day, I had to sit back and be like, but when I started this whole thing, that is not what I was going for.
But aren't you also here to feed into the demand? Like, we wanted.
I feel like Moses. If you do that, then that is where you're going to lose your direction. Because now I have to top Lady Mo now.
Who can talk?
We understand manje sengiyahamba ngikoleka onke amahlanya asembombela manje sengimi manje masipala. That's what I have to do. And ngikhuluma nje Lady Mo's episode is literally the highest with numbers.
No, that one was the one.
And then I'm like, can't you know what laba ngibukela
my first time viewers.
Bro, I had to question my audience because I'm like,
we are here for all of it.
So ninantanza le content yabo Moses.
Like, I think the beauty of your podcast is that it has no barriers. I would say boundaries.
Yeah.
You've sat down with Obabsipo Makabane. You've sat down with Lady Mo. You recently sat down with Uchichi.
Yeah.
I think that was, for me, one of the best conversations. Very insightful.
I think you say that because you relate. It is relatable to you.
Yeah, probably because it's relatable to me.
Yeah. And when you put it like that, it makes me feel like everyone then has something to relate to.
Yeah, I can assume ukuthi khona lo alalela interview yakho na Mnyasa. Someone that's within the film industry that felt like, okay, I can relate to that. I understand those challenges. I understand those people as much as you tried. Kuti Mnyasa must name and shame. And Mnyasa...
It's important.
And Mnyasa was
me to do that. It's important. Just don't ask me to do that.
After you put pressure on others to name and shame. Where do you see the podcast in the next year?
I can't even imagine. I can't imagine the podcast even 6 months down the line. Do you understand? I feel like that keeps me. I can't. I don't know if that keeps the edge going or because I don't know where I am within the podcast right now myself.
Is there a fear there? Maybe because you just haven't really accepted really how big the podcast is, and you fear to really dream beyond the limits of your expectations.
I feel like you keep saying the podcast is big.
And for me, my politician,
no, for me, I'm still waiting for. I don't even know what I'm waiting for, but I feel like I'm waiting for something that's gonna be like, I did it. I'm still waiting for that moment. I don't know what the moment is gonna look like, but I know that I'm not there yet. Yeah, so that's where I'm at. That's why I feel like I'm still yet to crack my biggest show that I'm gonna be able to sit back and be like, I did that. So yeah.
No, until then, just keep the good episodes coming. Yeah, we can't complain. We really can't complain. So I actually met you for the very first time back in Hlegan.
Direction. Okay, I'm sorry.
Back in 20-something.
Yeah, it was a while back.
Maybe about 2017.
Shem, it was a while back. I was still in community radio, I think.
Yeah. And already I knew you because I I love plugging myself into Mpumalanga talent.
Yeah.
Just like I already knew our ghost lady. We have a ghost lady today. Forgot to mention. Excuse me. So I meet you at Chabza. And I think even for me, it was still early in my radio broadcasting career. Yeah. Or it's when it was like sinking in that like I'm doing it.
Oh.
And it was at a stage where it was overwhelming for me when people would receive me the way that you did.
Yeah.
But anyway, I meet you and I already knew who you were because I love plugging myself into talent and I watch your journey over the years. And I wanted you so bad with all my heart to be part of Rise FM.
Oh. I was stuck in the part that you wanted me.
I loved your talent. I loved your voice. I loved how you sound when you speak. And I was like, this girl, like, she should be here.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I would like Mama opportunities girl. And I didn't even know you come. But being there when again, Zama. And now here you are.
Yeah, I am.
On Mpumalanga's only commercial radio station, holding down the Rise FM weekend afternoons between 3 and 6 p.m. You have your Dine and Dialogue podcast.
Yeah.
If you would have a conversation with 16-year-old you,
she wouldn't even come to the table. We would plan to meet at 6 and she wouldn't. That's how bad 16-year-old me was.
Are you serious? So radio, television was not on your mind.
Why are we even talking about that? No, I'm not even gonna lie. 16-year-old me was bad. Yeah, bad.
And where did 16-year-old you see this Lerato? Because when we're 16, we have, that image of who we think we'll be as adults.
At 16, I think I was in grade 12, if I'm not mistaken. Why are we talking about that?
Grade 12 was 18.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no.
No, my connections weren't for that. My mother was a teacher, girl. But anyway, yeah, I think I was in grade 12 when I was 16. And I was just one of those troublesome kids. And it was so bad. I remember when I was done, yeah, on the day, I was sleeping in my room.
Like you were not
Do you understand? Like I was asleep. I probably went out drinking the day before, came home, I was asleep. My mom woke up in the morning, she was cleaning her house, And funny enough, she received a phone call. She was still washing my window. She was at my window. But I washed my first at that time when she received the phone call, and they were like, "Hi, but we see Mundulo so a pain." And my mom was like, "Nah, it's probably the same name or whatever."
No way.
I'm telling you, I was listening. And
so even your mother did not expect
the whole house.
The
whole house was chilled because we all know. We all know.
The life you live.
Bro, I had a friend at grade 12. I had a friend was a Matsu. Now, what we would do is she'd be at my house. Like Bisfunta Estindile Soitu. She'd be at my house, and if we're not at my house, we're at her house. My mom tried to get a hold of it. She was like, "Okay, now I'll just give you transport money. Whatever. Because I'm not going to be responsible for you not going to school. So imagine you get school and that's on you." She gave me transport money. Benkivela with my friend. After school, as a born and faith. As long as it's speaking, schooling. After school, we're gonna see. No matter hiker, no matter walker, it's fine. And then when we get home and it can't say about tents, we pack our bags. Say kaigu. Yeah, we go back tents, we pack our bag, we go home. That was the life I was living during my grade 12. when I was 16. So
I wouldn't have guessed. You look like such a put
I
together,
am.
timid, conservative.
I am.
It happens and you decide
Yeah.
what about your life.
I realized I got to a point in my life where I realized I don't like going out. Actually, I don't like going out at night. I don't like having many friends. I don't even like people like that. You know, I got to a point where I realized that about myself, and I was okay with it. Like, actually, I like being at home. You know, I like getting myself. Not to say I don't drink, but I want to get my 2 dumpies or whatever and be at home and drink and literally fall asleep.
Yeah.
Do you understand? As soon as I got over that period, I was able to come back to me and be like, actually, this is who I am. Do you understand? And I think it's so sad because even at home, when they realized, they were surprised to say I do. You know, when they realized the actual person that I am, because my mom very was sure that me I think for a long time she thought Bangloile somewhere some family member did something to me. But yeah, when she realized, she never could have imagined that out of all her kids, I'd be the one who's always at home. Like, I don't even want to go out, child. Like, you know, I'm the one, we're always sitting there together, single paper. She never imagined that, but that's how it is now. So
wow.
Yeah.
And at that point, what move do you make towards building a career or getting into adulthood? Because, you know, during those early 20s, late teens, that's where a lot of us are just trying to figure things out. And there's a lot of pressure from, you know, family, either you're skoleni or because a lot of our parents, our age group, it's the teachers, it's the nurses, whether they come from that generation who believe in getting education for a better future.
Yeah. You know what the sad part about me is? I think it's the fact that I feel like I caught up to myself a bit late. I'm actually still trying to catch up to myself. So now I'm doing all these things that I could have done, you know, years ago, I feel.
Like what?
In terms of focusing on my career. You know, there was a time when I couldn't imagine myself as a working girl. I never thought I'd be. I never thought I'd be a working girl. I never thought I'd be that girl that sits down and plans to say. I never thought I'd be the girl who goes to work 7 days a week. Me, do you understand? So I realized that now I'm into this space and I have to start afresh now and plan. I'm late, but I'm trying to plan. What are you trying to do? Like,
are you late or are you on time?
I truly feel like I am late. You know, sometimes they do say that God has a plan
His
for
own
you,
time, yeah.
but because you're too busy with whatever, you miss sometimes the plans that He has for you. You know, there's times where you miss it. There's times where you don't see it. There's times where He maybe takes it back to say, actually, no, you're not ready for it. Or there's times where He even gives it to you, but because you don't see it, you fumble it. Do you understand? So, yeah, I think there's been times where I missed communication from, you know, the higher power or whatever. In that sense, then that's how I say I missed opportunities. I'm late.
So,
but then also on time.
Regardless of your lateness, on time, how do you get into radio?
Ooh, you know what? It's so crazy. Oh, Shane, I had a friend. And no, before we get to the crazy part, I want to talk about this one because it's very important. I had a friend of mine that I met in my era of being chacharach everywhere. I met this friend of mine through Lomgan, living in Dine. I met this friend, we find Guti, we like each other that much. I end up being friends with her and not Lomgan. You understand?
No, what a betrayal.
No.
Without me.
See. Yeah. Anyway, we end up being that close, me and that girl. She was also a bit toned down. Yeah. So that's why I navigated towards her a bit more because I was like, oh, okay, here's a person, but she doesn't really go out every weekend or whatever. She's toned down. I want to say, I lunch basically, and it shouldn't always be a chore. So at one time, she was a hustler. Hey, she was a straight up hustler. Yeah. At one time, she was like, no, man, why don't you do anything? Like, why are you so relaxed? Why are you saying no, but why was I? Do you understand?
Okay.
I understand it's not a matter of endlini, njani, yes, endlini, you're fed or whatever, but why are you so relaxed?
You're not pursuing anything.
Do you understand? And she
Yeah.
was like, listen, what do you love or what do you think you can do? And I was like, I'm not sure. And then she was like, I think you'd be good in radio. She took me and went with me to Barberton Community Radio. They had auditions. She was like, listen, on this day, I'm taking you, you're going to audition. I was like, wow, okay. We get there, I fumble, obviously, you know, and then we come back. Yeah, bona basuka bafuna ukuthi ngifunze something and ngiyikreme. Mina ngikhuluma mnandi vele mangaka mara when it comes to they gave me a script and I couldn't, so I fumbled. We came back. And from there I had that thing with no man, this is actually something that I can do.
Yeah.
Because back in the day, I think from a primary I was into your speeches, your debates. I was the girl.
Oh, that's your thing.
No, I was the girl. Like the top girl.
I went.
Yeah, I was the number one.
Good debate, I'm not.
I know you're not the only one. So when I came back from EPCR, I went to K Radio to try out. I did a demo. I remember. I was like, okay, because I'm happy, and I'm Batan's band. Obviously, you have a different opinion. Because I'm happy and I'm Batan's band, I'll be good when they didn't. You know, people are not gonna know who I am. They'll just know of my work.
Yeah.
So I did a demo. And they never gave me a reply. Wafika June Youth Month, and they were like, okay, if you're interested in radio, come through. We'll have a day where I co-host with you. GTZ was doing that.
Oh, General. Shout out to GTZ. General. Check out his podcast.
Yeah. So I went to that thing. And on the day when I was supposed to do the whole thing, and I couldn't.
I went.
Yeah.
Did you not feel like it was a sign?
I did.
It's not for you.
But then again. But he was like, no, come back again. Because when I went, it was the last day. So he was like, no, come back again. We'll try. I went back and we tried it and it was so good and I enjoyed it so much.
Nice.
That I went home and I did a demo on my own.
Oh, wow.
And I brought it in. And when I did, I found the programs manager, I think. I think she demo and she was like, okay, we'll contact you. And I left. When I left, I think distance link and she called me to be like, hey,
come back
here. Come back here. And I went back. And she was like, can we wait for the station manager? I want for him to be able to hear what I'm hearing here.
Oh, wow.
Shout out to you. He came through.
You never name names.
Oh, guys, I forgot. What was the case? Yeah, but no, Baba.
First lady,
no.
Wow, the betrayal. The betrayal.
It was a long time, but I remember him. No, guys, honestly, my memory is bad, okay?
Okay.
Yeah. If me caught it means that you were good to me. I only remember people that do me wrong. No, I will, most probably. So anyway, Veli. Yes, Veli. Oh.
Oh, is that mine?
Yes. That's mine.
Oh, that's interesting looking. Ooh, the salad. Ooh, I love food that is colorful.
It's so nice. It looks so good.
The rice
Where's your
looks
phone?
Different.
Okay, anyway, because of time, I have to finish explaining myself.
Ooh, silent moment for the food though. It is Dine and Dialogue.
Okay, sis.
Ooh,
it's your show.
It's my show today. Okay. And then Veli.
Yeah, shout out. Yeah. So anyway, they listened and they were like, where have you worked before? And I was like, literally, I've never. I only came here for the first time with the thing. And he was like, there's no way. So you're going to come. Yeah, well? So I came through tomorrow and GTZ was like, there's no way. If Nimtasha, then she's gonna do the show with me. She's gonna do Eat Breakfast with me. So that's how I started. I started doing Eat Breakfast show with GTZ. Spula Matolo. But yeah, anyway. Anyway. Mara best plan kakhulu. We did Spulamatolo with GTZ, and he had been there for the longest time. You know how radio is, the journey and everything. He had been there for the longest time, and I think Ngamtola was season of something's gotta give. So I worked with him for a year, and he was like, nah, I'm done. I think I've given radio all that I can give. I don't have anything else to give. So I worked with GTZ for a year or less. He left me on the breakfast show. And I had to
Did you not feel like you've been left in the deep end?
And you know how radio is? They're going to ask you for a whole year. With GTZ. Do you understand? And I'm there and I'm trying to learn and I'm trying to build myself. I'm trying to, you know? And people are asking, general.
Marachima's account.
Also, the challenge that I had was that, and they're like, no, asimfundo cheese girl. Listen, this is K radio. I remember this one day. There's one day I had to explain to a listener, you know what? Okay, because I'm here with my English. You winner.
I like the courage.
And no, I told them, you know, I was like, no, if you want no Sakatang is Swat, it's fine. Don't get after me. Because at the end of the day, when you're at a community radio, you have your goal. It's a stepping stone. Do you understand? You're trying to get somewhere. So I had a plan. I was like, I love radio, I can do radio, but my plan is to get to this particular place. I'm not trying to go where everyone is trying to go, you know. And for me to get to this particular place, so that I try, do you understand? And my plan back in the day was to get to Rise FM.
I was about to ask you.
That was my plan. I was like, I need to get to Rise FM, and if I'm going to get to Rise FM, so yeah.
It's so crazy. Before we start eating, how we share so many similarities of the journey. It's crazy. I feel like I'm sitting with myself. I see it, fun. Like it smells good.
No, also because time. First
impression, first taste.
Yeah. So that you taste mine as well.
I don't have a spoon.
You can use this one. I feel like there's so many spoons, like, or teaspoons or whatever.
Let me use this one and then we'll just have to. I don't think I'll have chilies. But don't go there, like, sham. Like,
it tastes color.
Oh,
taste the color.
What's this? Prawn.
I don't think it's prawn. What do you think? It is tasty, right? It is. It is. Not bad.
Yeah, it's a prawn. It's nice.
I actually like this.
I would have preferred it be a bit more tender, but
yeah.
Accepted. I am Nancy.
A lot.
Oh, yummy. Oh, yummy. Guys, I love food. I think Lerato will be the legend to put on something. How's the fish?
I don't know, it's a bit too salty for me, but yeah, it's nice. It's very nice.
So your end goal was Rise FM?
Yeah.
Where you currently are now?
Yeah.
But what people don't know about you is that you were once a station manager.
Oh my God. Oh my goodness.
Tell us about radio and leadership. How was that journey for you?
That was so hard. Let me tell you. Actually, I became a station manager. Like, I go, okay, there's an online radio that is opening. It's new, starting from scratch. I go there. I happen to be one of the first people to put in their demo. Okay, they call me through. I go. We're in the meeting. I have my interview. And then when I'm done, they're like, okay, we think we have something for you. But then now, we also want for you to also be the manager, not just the presenter. Do you understand? From the get-go, like just like that. I went there to try and be a presenter, and they were like, no, actually, do you understand? And I was like, okay, cool. I'm not a part of show. angikaze ngisho. Do you understand? But then I was like, okay, and then having a pata stock, I'll probably run away with the money.
Would you?
Yeah, please.
But
it's fine. Anyway, I would run, child. I was saying. So I get into the position, cool. I start now reeling in talent that I know, you know, because I know talent in this province, you know. I let Don Kati, Ghost Lady also, one of the first people that I reeled in.
Yeah.
Like, girl, you know. So I started reeling in talent that I know. And when it came to the leadership, I feel like that's what broke me down.
And before you get into the leadership aspect,
yeah,
if you go back to the episode with Chichi, this is where Lerato and Chichi were talking about how she poached Chichi to join this online radio station. And this is the same one that Lerato on that episode was forcing Chichi to mention Unbeba Hola Malin. So here you are now a leader.
No, don't.
Back to that episode.
I'm not gonna say that on camera, but I'm gonna make sure to send this link to my
previous
then bosses. I'm here, I'm with Nontobego as I'm doing this episode. I'm just saying address someone. I want you to do some introspection after watching this episode. Please do introspection.
So what were your challenges as a leader?
No, that place was crazy. You know, it was like working for somebody that doesn't know what they want. Or they have an idea of what they want, but they don't really know how they're going to get there. Or abayati indlela leya lapho. Do you understand? Because we had all the talent in the world. All we needed was just time to build. Everything that is worth building takes time. Do you understand? You don't just wake up sasa and you have everything. Do you understand? We had the talent and we had people that were willing to put in the work. They were actually putting in the work. Myself being part of those people, I worked from Monday to Sunday. I was the first person to get there and the last person to leave every day. Do you understand? And I had a show on top of that, and I did that. I was happy to do that because I think I was in my era of I'm gonna give this space everything that I've got to give. Do you understand? But then people, instead of looking at that and thinking, oh my God, you know, such talent, such willingness, such commitment, they think, oh, how can I exploit that? Do you understand? How can I make the most money out of that person? Or how can I utilize this person for whatever goal or whatever? And that's what most of these community radio stations do. Do you understand? Because at the end of the day, truth be told, government does fund community radio stations. They do. Okay, even though Wiggle Tunes was not, I want to get that one straight. Wiggle Tunes was not a community radio station.
Okay,
it was just a project that they decided they were going to do for themselves.
All right.
Sitting here now, I'm thinking because they are an advertising company, I think they were going to use Wiggle Tunes as part of a package, a full-on package when it comes to their advertisement or whatnot. And it was going to work had they given it time. But what community radio station leaders or bosses do is the government will fund you to I don't know, to enlighten, you know, talent or to nurture talent and whatnot. And then you're going to take that money and nurture your child. Do you understand? All of it. You're going to nurture your child, make sure your child gets the best education. Now you're going to want to drive a nice car. Now you're going to want to fund your lifestyle and whatnot. And then come to me and say, no, you know, I'm giving you a platform. We are the advertiser. What? I'm sorry, what? Advertising what?
Exposure.
Do you understand?
Ghost Lady, you know that one. You know
and that's what happens with community radio stations, and that's why I feel like people are never going to take radio fraternity serious. For as long as I've been around, I think I've understood at the end of the day, no matter where you go, you're going to be used. Do you understand? Like that's one thing that if you're gonna look into entertainment space or radio or whatever, media, whatever, you're gonna be used. Please take that from me now. If you take anything from this interview, is that Badok 70s are shame. Try and get something out of it. At the end of the day,
it's the passion.
It's the passion. Take that passion and put it there at the back. Leave the passion.
So show your passion in emphasizing.
Please, if you are starting, please never use the term passion. Take it away from you, because that is what's gonna kill you. I think that's the one thing that killed most of us, was that I'm passionate about this. Oh, I love this so much. I'm passionate. I'm willing to.
Passion doesn't pay. Passion doesn't.
You're gonna be used by most probably everyone that you're gonna work with. Just make sure that you get something out of it. I think at the end of the day, make sure that the next gig should be better than the previous one all the time. True. All the time.
And you've landed the top. Yeah. You've landed the top gig. You've landed the top.
What
gig.
Is the top gig?
Mpumalanga's only commercial radio station. How can? You were looking at it like. Now you are saying.
Did you do that on purpose?
I think your radio journey is one to be admired. You've really tapped into spaces a lot of us have not. I know when I started on commercial radio, there were colleagues who were skeptical about me, or maybe even looked down upon me because I had no prior radio experience, and my first gig is at a commercial level. And although some may admire that, for others, they would prefer a Lerato.
How dare you?
Like,
why are you here? Why are you breathing the same air?
When Lerato, ubuya go community radio, ubuya go online radio, ubuya go pata, ubuya go patwa. I mean, that's a compliment. But it's a compliment. It shows your potential to, even possibly one day be a programs manager.
What I learned from that is that I'm not built to pata band. I can't.
You'd never step into that sphere.
No. Good. I know I was, but then I got. Let me tell you, she's saying I was good. We fought, me and her. I think at some point she hated me even. She hated my guy.
Is that true, ghost lady?
I'm just packing No, but you know what, ne? I'm a very compassionate person. When I was a leader, I want to get the work done. I want to, let's excel in what we're doing. Let's make shit happen. Do you understand? But then also, if you come to me and you say, oh, Lerato, I don't have money to come to work. Do you understand? I can't go back to the bosses and say, they're going to tell me that we pay them. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I'm going to cough out my money. Yeah, I'm going to cough out my money and give you to be able to come to work. And I can't come back to you and say, I know how much you earn. Do you understand? So I found that I did all of those little things for people, and then the bosses would turn around and say to people, we don't understand why Lerato is too strict. Do you understand? You come to me and you say to me, it's your responsibility to make sure that everyone is at work every day. I do that out of my own pocket. And then you turn around and go to those people and say, we don't understand why Lerato is too strict. So I felt like, I'm trying to make you happy, I'm trying to make them happy. And I was like, I do not deserve this. So it was very hard. It was challenging. Emotionally, it was very stressful. So I don't think I would ever want to put myself in that position again. If you're watching, yeah, okay.
Your first day?
Where?
At Rise FM.
Oh my God. Wait, because my first day was literally the tryouts, remember?
Take a chance competition.
Do you mean that first day or after?
Whatever you perceive as your first day, because in this journey of you wanting, longing, your goal being to be there, there's that one day where you walk through those doors and you were like, I'm here. Like, am I even here?
Do you understand? I think you do. But yeah, it was so crazy. It was so crazy. And I think I lived in that bubble for the longest time. Because first was the take your chance. I was taking my chance, But then because I was Lerato Molefe then, do you understand? People knew of me. You know, people knew who I was. There's people that have been following me from back in. Do you understand? So everyone knew. I think that's the one thing I was skeptical about when I entered Take Your Chance. I was like, if I don't get this, everyone is gonna see that I went there. And, do you understand? But then I was like,
not that good.
But my thing was because I think you said earlier on that you would always share if there's something. Do you understand? She's also somebody that would share. I had many people share with me if there was anything advice, and I never did. I would just lie and be like, yeah, I sent my DM. Yeah. It doesn't count now. No, it doesn't count now.
Count.
No, now we are here. We are looking at the brighter side. So for years, you know, and I'd have a person be like, Mina, I don't understand why bangakuthathi Lerato. And I'd be like, oh, no, mama. In my heart, I'd be like, do you understand? Like, there's a lot of people. That's why now with Take Your Chance, it was like, okay, they're gonna know that I didn't go. I don't have a choice. So I went, but I didn't trust. I did not. I'm not even gonna lie.
Do you think even that lack of trust was what, stopped you from, sending your demo all the other times and trying?
I think
was there an imposter syndrome of some sort that was at play?
Yeah, maybe. I remember early days when I started now doing the weekend, and I met you there a couple of times, and you were like, I had the imposter syndrome. The first time you said it, I was like, who is she that she is? Of course, I didn't say it to your face. Well, darling, at the day when I was saying it at home, you were not Sibo. I had another name. I had another name for you. You don't even want to know it. But yeah, when I got home, I was like, this girl, she says I have imposter. I even told my mom.
I said, I just deep moves.
My mom, of course, doesn't know what imposter syndrome is. But girl had to agree with everything I was saying. I was venting, so I was venting, so she had to. But then after a while, I would, do introspection. I was like, actually, she's right. It took me, I don't know how many months to be able to say to myself, yeah, like it's happening. It really is happening. It is a reality. You really are here. And I think even in my delivery, like with my shows and whatnot, someone who listened to me attentively, and I had someone tell me a few days ago or a week ago to say, you are comfortable now. I can tell that you're comfortable. You've been, kind of nervous, but I can tell now that you're in your element. You're doing good. Yeah, so I did have that. I had imposter syndrome. I didn't feel like I belonged. I was so scared. I was like, oh my God, I wonder what they're saying about me. I wonder, they're thinking,
are they listening?
What is she doing here or whatever. And then to top it all off, we had the Snoop sessions. Wow, this was the first time that I was introduced to that.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. To have someone kind of take a jab at you and you must laugh because this person is your boss now. Yeah.
Oh,
they'd be like,
trauma.
Lerato, you suck.
Yes,
I can tell.
I think I can do better.
And you get out of there so traumatized. I don't know who I asked, and they were like, no, that's normal. It will pass. You'll get used to it.
Like Snoop and Sabiso. It's not even that traumatic. Our previous programs manager, Tony Morrell, British man, he would ask you, what was that? Labo uswate, and you're like, oh my gosh, relevant. Like, why? And he had a thing, so if you don't have anything to say, don't switch on the mic. Why are you wasting airtime?
Oh my God.
So now they were like,
so yeah, it was one of those. I'm still struggling, but I feel like I'm coming along good.
Would you say you have come full circle in your broadcasting journey?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah. It's crazy. Yo, it's so crazy.
But how long has it taken you? Because there's a misconception, and this is because of national broadcasters, where they take up my influencer or someone with numbers or a celebrity, and they make it seem like it's really that easy to get to the top. And then there are a few who really grind within the broadcasting, and that's really how the broadcasting journey is. The likes of GTZ, the likes of Ghost Lady, the likes of yourself. Have you come full circle? Has it been worth it? And how long did it take you to get here?
I feel like I have, because at the end of the day, when I started radio, my goal was to get to Rise FM, darling, and that's where I am. Do you understand? Like, literally, I feel like that's the one thing that I never wanna forget. It's not roses and whatnot, but the fact of the matter is that I made plans and I set a goal and I achieved
it.
That goal. Do you understand? So I think every day, that's the one thing that I always constantly, you did that, Yes, everything is happening on the side, but I want to live in this moment of my achievement and just take it all in. And yeah, I have come full circle. It definitely has been worth it.
And it's taken you how long?
I'd do it again. I don't know how long it has taken me.
You haven't been counting?
I think I started radio at like 2016, 17. So yeah, 2025 now. You'll do the counting, child.
When did I start? Wow.
What is amazing to you?
Wow. And then what is the next goal? Now you on Rise FM. What is next for Lerato Molefe?
Listen, I've got my podcast. But ngicela ukuthi maniyenda lama awards enu yendani ama awards enu ngifake ilona yema podcast nevan and then seniwinisa I podcast yami evan I award.
Yeah, for Stella vele uyabetshela.
Yeah, please, because if you don't do it, you know my boss now. I'll ask my boss to organize awards now. Bese niyokhuluma nithi njanja nepotism what.
Sekufuna kube ne channel and awards.
But do you understand? If we have to, because this podcast has to have some kind of award.
That's a sash.
But okay, on a serious note, I do wish for my podcast to have an award of some sort. But I think apart everything else, I think I want to go into production. Yeah, I want to create a podcast and find some people that will be able to implement it and bring it to life and whatnot. I want to go into that. I think I could be good at that.
I don't know, but what I do know is that it's been a pleasure to watch you grow. It's been a pleasure to just witness the growth of your career, of your brand, to see where you are flourishing, making the most of the platforms that you are on. I think you're one of the, you're one media personality rather within Mpumalanga that we can really, give recognition to, because we look at national brands and you look at a Dineo Ranaka and be like, yeah, she's on radio, she has a podcast, she has this and that. Even in Mpumalanga, there are people who are really multifaceted, building their brands, putting in the work every single day. Yeah. You're definitely one of those people. I do wish you the best, more growth, more success. We're gonna rate the food.
I know who was my favorite guestie, my favorite place to dine in. Yes, let's rate the food. No, I'm joking.
No, then I was here for you.
Thank you. Yeah, that's the reason I love you. Yes. I can do better.
And then your drink?
It's water, I mean. Yeah.
10 out of 10.
Okay. And then your plate?
Yo, wow. The chips, 7. The fish, 9. The fish rice, 9. I don't believe in 10 out of 10 with food.
Yeah.
Can never be.
But if you did, it would be a 10, right? Okay. Well, it's a definite 10 for me, and you don't get that.
And like, obviously the fish is your favorite dish.
The rice, wow.
But the prawns could have, they could have been more tender.
Yeah, but it's just nice. Keep your 9. This is mine. My thinking was a 10. Okay, 10 out of 10. Love it, love it, love it.
You didn't
the fish. last time I was here, I had the salad, so I know all about it.
Oh, okay.
The fish, 7 because of the sauce. The sauce for me is just.
When it's so tangy, I absolutely love it.
You love the sauce, ne?
Tantalizing.
Yeah, for me, it has that kick, like. But I
But
always
this is
say
apparently your favorite dish.
Yeah, the fish. I love it. But yeah, that is that. Overall, the food today, the choice was perfect. And then as we're shutting it down, I'll take my show back. Thank you very much. It was so nice to have you come through. Thank you so much for helping me deliver my thoughts. And I think people have learned a thing or two about me. My favorite guest so far, I have a couple. I loved Pumla music. Loved her.
No, wahluleka kumtshela your-favorite song.
Mamtshela nendlela bekufuna lela afuna yona. Mamtshela ngathi mina ngikuphekele wazitomtuka. Oh. She was my favorite guest. Yeah, guys, my memory is not good, okay?
Your favorite place? Establishment?
To dine?
Yeah.
Oh. If I know, how can you ask me that? But, okay.
Apart from Safaris, because we've
Melakas.
been here quite a few times, clearly you like it.
In the garden, ne? It was the garden. The garden.
They
Oh
have
my God.
great food.
They're
They
at
have
the
great
top
food. No.
when it comes to their food for
That's
me.
the best food
They're
in
they're at the
Bogota.
top. And mind you, yeah, okay. The garden, they're at the top. Urban House. Okay, I love. We have pretty
We
good
actually have
dining
good
places.
establishments.
Yeah, we do. And I wish to explore more of those places. I'm pretty sure that's what we're going to do. We're going to branch out of Mbombela and explore more places. The whole of Mpumalanga, actually. I'm just trying to eat and get bros in different area codes. Okay, guys, we're done. Yeah, we're done. Sorry, we're done.
I was like,
We're done. Thank you.